If you walk into the club on a random Monday or whatever days, what does that day look like? You walk in. I saw you this morning. Actually, it was lucky we rocked up at the same time. What do you get up to in a normal day?
Oh, for me, I have two, because I'm a non-paid staff member, so my full-time job is as a church pastor.
Yes.
So I'm coming down here twice a week. So in the off-season, I'd come down twice a week to training. In the season, I'd come to at least one training session a week, and then game day as a resource. But when I come down here to the club, I'm simply here to support the training program. So you can't come down and have deep and meaningful conversations with players on training day generally, unless there's someone in the gym that's doing it tough, is in the rehab group. I'll often connect with the rehab players because they can feel a bit lonely and isolated at times as the weeks go on. So part of my role is to get alongside them, see how they're going. If I pick up anything of a concerning nature, I'll go to our player development, our player welfare manager, and just let them know, hey, such and such is struggling in this area, and they're usually across that anyway, but I'm touching base with him. And otherwise, I'll go out to training and actually help out. I'm fit enough to still run around and kick a ball, and the players seem to like my kicking. And they're not overly forgiving. If you're not going to hit them on the chest very often, they'll discard
especially
you.
the key forwards.
But I get out. Sometimes the coaches will even yell out, can you help us with this drill? Because I need an extra pair of hands. So I'll go up and help with a drill. Often standing behind the goals with a couple of others kicking balls out when they're doing goal kicking training. So kicking balls back out so they can kick for goal. So just helping out during the drills. And then after training, they come in and have a catered lunch, and I'll sit down and have lunch with them. And yes, it's 2 or 3 players or a staff member you might sit down and have a conversation with. That's when you start to build relationships with your players over lunch, more so than the actual training itself. Yeah,
definitely. You were mentioning about how, support players who I guess are in rehab and injuries, going to last year where there was obviously, 20 plus, it was an absolute massacre.
Oh, unbelievable.
You must have been busy there.
It was almost take your pick, and that was hard because you're trying to lift people's spirits. And it was interesting. Yes, we had about 15, 20 players injured at times that couldn't play each week.
Crazy.
And so we had a record in the amount of debutants throughout that year, 15. It's never happened before.
It's like every week there's a new one popping up.
But it was interesting, even though there was sadness and a little bit of grief in relation to some of these long-term injuries that we're experiencing, and people obviously frustrated they couldn't get on the track. And sure, we as a welfare team are getting alongside them as best you can. But there was also excitement in the club. You got these young kids who didn't think they were even chanced to get a game at the beginning of the year, thought this would be a development year for them. All of a sudden they've been thrust into the AFL and they're playing 8, 9, 10 games of football.
And they learn a lot.
And they're learning stacks, and we're fast tracking their development. And as part of their development too, or part of their introduction into the team, on game day there's like this big jumper presentation. Their family come in, the cameras are there, and there's a past player comes in and gives a little bit of a quick inspirational speech. And so it's a really big moment in the rooms before the game, and the players get around them and hug them and whatnot. And then all of a sudden you've got the excitement of someone going out and playing their first game of football. And that happened 15 times.
It's a bit bittersweet, I guess.
Absolutely.
Someone misses out, but then a new one comes in and you celebrate.
So that was all going on at the same time. So there was excitement and all that. And also we knew that we were planting seeds for the future. These guys are getting experience a lot earlier in their careers than they would have otherwise had. So that's got to serve us well going into this year and the years to come.
And is that the kind of perspective Essendon, I guess, had during that time? Obviously, you get injuries everywhere. How do you, as a club, I guess...
long-term view, that you've got to stick fat together and really believe in what you're doing with Brad Scott and the coaching panel and the board for that matter, all aligned, all unified, going in the one direction. And so they understand that we're in this for the long game. If you're looking for a short-term fix, it's not going to come. But so you can put Band-Aids on stuff, but you rip that off and there's still the wound underneath. For us, it's this is a long-term focus. And so the club are really understand that. And so Brad's got that backing of the board and also of the other coaches, and so they're all aligned basically, and with their eyes firmly setting a long-lasting platform.
And you look out there and you've got your Darcy Parish and you've got your players back, and the people who come to watch, they'll be happy. So you're pushing forward this year.